Hey, how y'all doing? I'm gonna wait for everybody to get in here. Yeah, wait for everybody to come in the building. If people are coming in the building today. I know it's a work day. Just waiting. Yeah, wait for everybody to come in the building. How y'all doing? Just waiting. That exists. What exists, baby? Water Sniper, how you doing? Natalia, Aisha Saccone, how you doing? Delta Roots, how you doing? Asada Shaheed, how you doing? B Thorn Art and Spirituality, hey, how you doing? Henset S, how you doing? The Dunham Report, people are in the building. How you doing? Hit the like button as you come in the building. Hit the like button as you come in the building. Let people know that we are in the building. How you doing, Yamika? Lottie Pat, how you doing? Yo, we in the building, Lottie Pat. Brianna Snyder, hey. Rick M, good afternoon. Natalia, Aisha, Saccone, how you doing? Yes, we here. We are in the building. Tatiana Kimball, hey, and Mitchell, how are you? I am awesome today. I worked a 7 to 3 like I do every day. Monday through Friday. I basically just wanted to come and talk to you guys about mental health of Black women. We are in dire restraints right now. Come in the building. Hit the like button as you come in the building. Trying to wait for a few more people to get in the building. 72 people in the building, 31 likes. Hit the like button as you come in the building. Good afternoon, Sean Hunter. How you doing? Florence Manswell, how you doing? Courtney Q, how you doing? ASKSDV, Peace Queen, peace, how you doing? Trayvon Brown, how you doing? Sahita White, I'm here. You in the building, Sahita White? Welcome to the building. Chieftainess Kalinga, for some reason, you find a reason to come in the building every single time, and I really appreciate your support. Chieftainess Kalinga. Yaya E. Grand, you in the building. Joanna Palmer, Coco Butter, Calvin McGee, King Bishop, Audrey Lane, you in the building. We in the building. All right. So basically, I just wanted to do a short little skit or discussion about Black women and mental health. Let me give you guys a bit of my mental health story. All right. I first started doing YouTube in order to promote my book. And my book was basically about how I survived post-traumatic stress disorder. Many Black women are being diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder due to childhood sexual abuse, childhood physical abuse, racism, neglect, domestic violence, all types of things. So those of you that do not know my story, let me take a little bit of time to explain. For a long time in my life, I had nightmares every night, and they were horrible. I had nightmares that I was being raped, abused, molested, things of that nature. And I thought they were just nightmares. Like maybe I ate something wrong, something like that. There was an incident that happened where my older brother was caught molesting me by my brother that was younger than him. I'm a baby and an older girl. But my younger brother had caught my older brother molesting me. And it was a nightmare to me because I had put it so far in my subconscious. One thing that people don't understand is that the subconscious stays in the present. The conscious is the only one that makes difference between past, present, and future, which is why a pain or a memory that you just discovered or understood seems like it just happened yesterday, because your subconscious, what you put on a shelf, that memory, it makes no difference between past, present, and future. It stays in the present. And it's real hard for me to do this because I'm doing it live. And I promised myself that I wanted to reach as many people as possible, but bear with me, okay? From the time I was 5 till I was 9 years old, my older brother molested me. And it was so painful before me that I put it up on the shelf, and I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to address it. I'm putting my business out here because it happens so often in our communities and no one wants to talk about it. It's the pink elephant in the room. It really is. But incest happens in our families and happens more often than we are willing to talk about. We need to talk about this. I am in the business of mental health, and 99.9% of the men that I encounter, because I deal with more men than women, have been molested by their own family members. I'll repeat that one more time. 99% of the men that I have encountered were molested by their own family members, and they were told to keep it on the hush. What goes on in this household stays in this household. I'm sure we have all heard that before. We have. Why don't we talk about it? We want to blame everything on slavery. And you know what? Maybe that's where it was introduced. But it was us that kept that shit going. Don't deny your reality. This is what is going on. You have an post-traumatic stress disorder. And I understand that because I see it every day. You know how many people I have come on my page that ask me dumb shit. Like, what do you do for your community? Nigga, from 7 to 3, Monday through Friday, I'm at a crisis center. Dealing with a majority of black men and black women that have been molested by their own mothers, fathers, sisters, and brothers. Baby, I'm out here. Don't ever doubt that. Now, the thing that gets me is these black families that want to keep everything in-house. This is where you get your alcoholics. This is where you get your crack addicts. This is where you get your opiate addictions. This is where you get your whores, your thoughts. Because they have relayed to sex as a way out. One thing that I've noticed with 12 years in this business, because y'all want to know what I do. I've been in this business for 12 years. Mental health, substance abuse, all the people that y'all walk by on the streets, that's begging for money, that's who I deal with. That's who I represent. And I have no shame in that. I love it. I love my job. These people, they are cast to the side because they are alcoholics. They are crack addicts. But what made them that way? See, everyone wants to talk about the drug addiction, the alcohol addiction, the mental health diagnosis. No one wants to talk about the main cause of what's causing people to be this way. Now, when you have a whole bunch of lost black men and women, because we don't believe in therapy. One thing that I hear a lot of black people say is, what? Molestation? We don't do that. That's that white folk shit. Well, why is there an influx in it in our community? Now, I understand back during slavery, it was introduced to us. One thing that black people never question is, what was the form of discipline before slavery for our children? You go automatically to ass whippings for your children. Have you ever seen the look on a child's face while you are disciplining them disrespectfully, beating them with extension cords, frying pans, iron rods? I done been beat with damn near everything just for hanging a towel wrong. And I'm not the only one. But we fail to talk about these things. So there is a very slim line between child abuse and discipline. A very thin line. We cross that line often as black people. But you know what white people don't do? They don't cross it. But they were the ones to introduce it. That lets you know exactly how far we've come. We've come nowhere. When a population is able to introduce abuse into another population and not have to act on that abuse, but allow you to act on that abuse on your own people, they have won. They've won. Back during slavery, and I believe this had a big promotion of pedophilia, you had white men, right? These slave owners, these honest and wonderful and amazing men who were able to buy whatever slaves they want. The most bought slaves were black female children between the ages of 9 and 13. Why were they bought at this age? So that they can be molested and raped. Can you imagine a black father, a slave, coming into his slave master's room and seeing his 9-year-old daughter performing fellatio? This was slavery. See, one thing I don't understand about white people is you say dumb shit like, oh, well, that's nothing. It meant nothing. It's over. This was generations of molestation. And this is why white people are the biggest pedophiles and sex offenders in the world. See, y'all white folk come up here and talk all this shit about us. We snatch chains. We don't take care of our kids. But y'all the biggest serial killers and child molesters in the world. Now, when slavery was enacted, you were able to buy as many children as you want and molest them. That's no longer the case. So now you got to molest your own. And that's why you are the biggest child molesters in the world. Because you can no longer molest black children. Before you were able to buy us, use us, do whatever you needed with us. Now, you got to molest your own. When you look on the news and deal with police, 90% of the police officers that you see that are accused of sexual assault, they're white. They are. That is a situation that we have allowed to occur for years upon years upon years upon years. And like I said, no one wants to talk about this. But let me explain something to you. Not only was I molested by my own brother between the ages of 5 and 9, but I was also molested by my cousins. See, when black parents back in those days needed someone to care for their children, they sent them to their families in trust and love. And the families were the ones molesting the children. See, the day and age now has changed. The black woman has taken over to a certain extent, or at least she's allowed to work. But let me explain to you why that's a benefit and not a hindrance. When you had black men running the household, they were weak because they learned from white men. Black men carried pedophilia over into our community. Black women did not. You learn from the buck breakers. Okay? Do you know what buck breaking is? That means that there was a slave that was too big for his britches, and they needed to be fucked up the ass by the white slave master. And more than likely, this was done either in front of their wives or in front of their children in order to present a certain type of point. Now, if you think that shit don't carry over, you smoking crack. It does. Yes, my own brother molested me. I'm not afraid to say that. I am never afraid to say my story or speak on my story because I believe it can change lives. I'm not the only one that has gone through that. I'm not the last. I'm not the first. It happens too often in our community, and no one wants to acknowledge it. No one wants to say anything about it. All anyone wants to say is, oh, well, that's them white folk. They don't want to do that shit. No, nigga, we do that shit. I've been in this business of mental health and substance abuse for 12 fucking years. 12 years. 99.9% of the individuals that I have encountered have been molested not by a stranger, but by their own family members. It is your own family that is fucking with your kids. And you know what happens when you say something about it? They say, well, what goes on in this house, y'all can finish it for me, it stays in this house. Right? Don't say nothing about Uncle Leroy molesting you. Keep that shit to yourself. This is what we go through on a regular basis. On a regular basis. I consider it to be extremely disturbing because the black woman has no protection. There aren't many people talking about how the black woman is the most unprotected species on this earth. But there are many people talking about how she is the most destructive force on this earth, but they don't touch upon the pain of what caused her to be that way. Black women don't choose to be this way. This is not a choice. We have forced to be put in this position because y'all asses will not stand up for us. You are too afraid, too weak, held down. The black generation will fall. When you take the black man from the head of the household, there is no household. It is over at that point. And if y'all cannot stand up for us, we will fall. It is over. If you cannot stand up for the black woman, this shit is over before it even began. We are done. We are finished. Shut the fuck up, sit down, smoke a blunt, and eat some goddamn apples. It is done. Out this motherfucker. And I am tired of seeing it. I see it every day. I see people like Tommy Sotomayor just completely destroying the black woman. And the majority of the media is giving him the attention and people like him the attention to make us feel like this divide is really that huge. But honestly, if you get offline and just get in touch with some real black men, you'll notice they ain't like that. They don't rock like that. All of our black men don't rock like that. Now, I read an article that said all men are pedophiles. I plan to dispute that because before the arrival of the European, we didn't know shit about that. We didn't know anything about homosexuality. I know they like to say that homosexuality started in Africa. I know. Just like they like to say that life started in Africa. I know. I get it. And I'm going to tell you why I give not one fuck. See, my thing is, the Europeans have a certain type of ideation about what love and what sex is. And they were used to this. They were used to sleeping with their wives and their wives' children and their children and their children and their children. They were pedophiles from the jump. So basically, it's like black men love to follow the leader. And as much as the majority of black men like to claim that they follow their own beat and their own path, they don't. This is the weakest fucking generation of black men we have ever had. That is why we are at the bottom. These black men ain't standing up for a goddamn thing. Mason Run. Of course it's Mason Run. Of course it is. So it's like, I can't get too deep without getting emotional myself. And when I called my brother, when I got my memories back and was like, listen, I remember what you did to me. I mean, he called me every name in the book. He cut me off. I never spoke to him since, but it was by no choice of my own. I was willing to forgive him. I did forgive him. I wanted to talk to him. But because he was so ashamed, he cut me off. Let me just say this right here, because I'm going to keep this podcast short because I just don't have the heart to keep it going. I'm a sensitive person. And I know that it's a lot of y'all that think that I'm this real strong and big person that can just take everything that comes with it. And that's not me, man. I'm sensitive. I'm in my feelings. It's taking everything that I have to broadcast this. That's why I took everything I had to write my book. Every single chapter of that book, I have to relive it. Every touch, every feel, I have to relive that shit. And that ain't easy for me. It ain't easy. That's some hard work. I have to look at people who I loved and trusted and put in the back of my mind and ignored and look at them as the pedophiles that they are. That's facing a reality that I have tried to ignore for a long time. And that's not easy. That's why it's taken me so long to write this book, because it's about my life. It's not an opinion or, a research book or nothing like that. It's about my life and what I went through. And I went through fucking hell. So, I just wanted to come and just bring y'all that information for my sisters and brothers out there that are going through incest, that are incest survivors. We are not victims, we are survivors. And there are many of us that have been molested and assaulted by our own family. And it goes on way too often. And we don't talk about it enough. We need healing. We need that. And if I have to be the one to bring it, then so be it. I'll do that. But I need y'all to come on in also and promote that shit. Send people here. I did a podcast or a post about different things that you might be interested in because I have to change the theme of my channel. Antarctica and health and molestation was the top 3. Molestation was actually the number 1. So, every week I will come and I will do a podcast because I understand that when I had first done Black Sheep, I wasn't popular. Like a lot of the videos in the Black Sheep series have less than 1,000 views. I wasn't popular. It wasn't getting out like that. But I'm going to redo that series so that I can reach more people because I am not ashamed of what I went through. I did nothing wrong. And that's the thing about abuse victims. We have done nothing wrong. You know, like we have done nothing wrong. All we can really do is try to help one another. And I just try to help those that have gone through something similar as me. I think that's why I've been able to survive in this business for so long. When I tell y'all I have been through it, man, I have been through it. I had cousins that I was forced to stay with when my uncle was molesting me. And they would do stuff like punch me in the stomach and jump me and let other people jump me and abuse me. I had hell growing up. I really did. I didn't have an easy life growing up whatsoever. My shit was hell. So at the end of the day, that's why I am my Black Sheep. And how do we contribute to you financially? If you guys can go back on one of my earlier videos, or a matter of fact, later on, I'll put it in here in this video. And that's one thing that should let y'all know. I'm not after your money. Because if that was the case, I would have GoFundMe and shit like that broadcasting all across the screen. I would have it in every description box, in every single video. I would have it. I don't have it. I usually have to go back and put it in there later on because I'm not thinking about that. I'm just thinking about getting out my feelings and reaching my people. That's why. You know, and I don't leave my people. I don't leave my children with people either. You know, I mean, I had a group today, and one thing that makes me good at what I do is I am not ashamed to share with my clients what I went through. And you would be surprised of how many Black men. I have some people in my group. See, I live in Atlanta, or I live in Decatur, but I work in Atlanta. And you have a lot of famous parents coming in whose parents are famous. And they talk to us about their kids. So when I come and I talk to y'all, I'm talking about famous people too. Because I don't deal with them. They got private insurance and shit. And they deal with other people. I deal with their parents. Their parents come in to see me. And I'm the one like, wow, that's your son? That's your daughter? Wow, that's crazy. But listen, I'm going to go ahead and step out. I'm going to end this live stream. I just wanted to bring this to you guys' attention. I love each and every one of you. And I put my life out there to try to heal. I don't want attention. I don't want donations. I don't want anything like that. But we need healing. And if I can do so, I'm willing. We don't have enough stories out there where we're talking about healing and love. Everything is negativity and racism and hatred. I'm tired of that shit, man. I don't want to deal with it no more. I want to talk about what's really bothering us and how we can get over it. If we can't do that, then anything I do is a waste of fucking time. It is a waste of my time. And I don't intend on wasting my time. I am here for a reason. I want to heal. I want to love. I want to save. And I know that I can't save everybody, but if I can just touch a few people with my story and what I went through and how I was able to overcome it, I'm good with that. I'll own that. I'll take that. And hopefully y'all can take that with you, because I can't give too much of my life and, just keep going with y'all. I can only give little bits and pieces and move on without me being too affected and too emotional myself. So, this is the end of this podcast. And like I said, I love you. I didn't go anywhere. I just stayed in my bedroom because I just wanted to be in a comfortable spot when I shared this story with y'all. So, that's really all I have to say. And I hope you guys can understand and appreciate where I'm coming from and why I am so hard against pedophiles, because I was molested by my own brother for years. The family knew and they did nothing about it. If anything, they told me to keep it on the hush. And if I didn't, I was a traitor. I was the outsider. And it happens in more families than we realize. I just wanted to put that out there. I just want to say that I support you if you've been through that. I love you. You're not alone. You're not wrong. I've had cousins to tell me, well, the same thing happened to me and I'm fine. That doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right because it happened to you and you're fine. It doesn't make it right. My life wasn't right. I was angry. I was upset a lot. I drank a lot. My life was fucked up. Because nobody had the right to put their hands on me. They didn't have that right. And the family didn't protect me. And I felt like I was out here alone. I feel like I have more support from my YouTube family than I do my blood family. So, yeah. That's all I have to say. I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and tune out. I love y'all. But I just wanted to put that out there. You're not alone. All right, I've been there. But now it's time to be strong, stand together, and do something about this. Okay? I'm out.